Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right, and we just had on Mark Viniello. Yeah, he's the makeup and FX artist for Lord of the Rings, Avengers Infinity Wars, Stranger Things, and yes, even Jurassic Park 3 and a gazillion other movies. So make sure you go to Eliances.com to be able to hear that interview again and some replays. Also, to us, thank you for the feedback we continue to get from having the founder of Samuel Adams Brewing Company on. Again, go to Eliances.com. Well, let's talk about money because, boy, it's sure nice to be able to make more money and have some time freedom with that. And our next hero is going to help us and guide us through that and share some secrets because we have Kara Goldenbach. She is the CEO and founder of Direct Source Wealth. You can reach her at directsourcewealth.com/hero. And her number is 877-756-8323. Kara, I want to dive right in and tell you, there's a lot of people that always think about doing investments, but they take their time or they don't, and then what turns into days turns into months, can turn into a year. Talk to us about the effect of someone not taking action when they've done their research and they're ready to move forward, but just haven't done that, and how that can turn into really over time what they lose.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that point up. Yeah, inaction is the most common thing we see with our investors. I mean, I can't believe how often we get on the phone with someone who's read every book under the sun, listened to every podcast, quite frankly, has done more research probably in real estate than I ever have, and hasn't made any money at it. And so the cost, as you mentioned, if you look at just a basic typical deal, let's say 10% return a year, if you have $100,000 and have the opportunity to be making $10,000 a year off that, and you don't for 10 years, it's a substantial amount of money. And that's just a simple, straightforward, relatively easy investment. And I think oftentimes it's the fear of having a loss or having a failure that stops people. But by the time you net out what you lose by the bad deals against all that you make on the good deals, that 10% is a pretty reasonable number to expect to see over and over again. And you don't want to miss out on that.
Tell us how we can make money with Direct Source Wealth.
Yeah, the beauty of our model is that it's passive for our investors. So they get to get in, they get to participate in various kinds of deals, residential, commercial, multifamily, single family, storage facilities, and do so without having to do any of the heavy lifting. But because they're direct deals, they still get to pick what deal they want to be in and be involved with it. They can fly out, see the property, and have something tangible to know they're invested in, as opposed to a REIT or a fund or something like that. And it's super easy. You pick up the phone, you talk to your relationship manager, you talk about what your goals are and your timeline and horizon, and then pick an investment and get started.
Now, Kara, I know from our past interviews that, you started off in the real estate industry, and you were doing your own investments. And having done that, why did you decide then to start the firm of Direct Source Wealth? And again, people can reach you at directsourcewealth.com/hero. Why share it with others? Why share that secret?
Yep, two reasons. Number one, the self-interested motivation was that I wanted to do bigger deals. And in order to scale up and do bigger deals, I needed to partner with other investors. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. And the reason we chose to do it the way we did at Direct Source Wealth is because of a fundamental commitment to providing individual investors with more alternatives than the traditional stock market, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds that sort of your typical investor has access to. So it started, honestly, with a self-need and a self-interest, and then looking at how to meet that self-need in a way that made an impact on a demographic that I care about, which is your average investor, right? So rather than working with huge multi-millionaires, we really focus on the mom and pop investor, just like literally my parents who invest with us and me and our friends and family and have grown beyond that.
So if you're, again, mom, pa investor, make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call her at 877-756-8323 because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. And we have Kara Golden, the CEO and founder of Direct Source Wealth. Again, directsourcewealth.com/hero, where you could be the co-investor. And let's talk about that because you must get just so many deals and projects coming your way. How do you sift through it? I mean, is it like naturally now you just kind of put your hand over the deal and you're like, yes or no?
I hope maybe one day it'll be that easy. No, we do get a lot more deals, and that's been a really interesting part of the growing process is the more deals you do, the more deals you get, and you actually start to get sort of inundated in opportunity costs. So there was a phase where, we wanted to do every good deal we got our hands on, and have learned, you have to really pick the cream of the crop, and then start to consider variables outside of your return. Who are you working with? Do you enjoy working with them? Where are the properties located? Diversification factors. Is there another co-investor nearby if they need to swing by and look at something? We began to add some of those additional variables when screening properties, but there's still quite a numbers crunching process that has to happen every time. But you do develop a gut and an ability to kind of go, something's not right here. But at the end of the day, you got to dive down in and find out what's going on with the numbers. The numbers do all the speaking.
So when somebody meets with you and you have these deals available, these deals come and go because you end up filling them. And if somebody waits too long, then that deal's gone. Then there may be another deal available for them and so on. I mean, have you seen that take place?
Absolutely, yeah. Our deals don't typically last very long. We try to always save a space for a couple of new investors because as a new investor, we never want to put pressure on someone. We want them to have time to really think things through and feel comfortable in what they're doing. But deals fund so quickly that can be a challenge. So generally we'll earmark a certain amount of each deal for new investors. That way they have a little bit more time, maybe a couple extra days to think about, hey, is this a fit for me or not? But otherwise, with our existing investor base, things fill up pretty quickly.
And as a new investor, someone who's coming in, do they have the ability to talk to you actually or see you live in person?
Definitely talk to me. Live and in person lately has been intense. I've got a 3-week-old baby at home, so nobody gets to see me very much lately in person.
Wow.
But we do at least once a year, we do an investor trip with our Golden Circle investors. That's a few days that we get together and we bring together industry partners and meet and talk about ideas and connect and brainstorm. And then we certainly do a lot of those strategy sessions on the phone. But I like to meet every single investor at least over the phone and get to know them and their families and what makes them tick. But certainly within the first couple of years, try to meet everybody in person as well.
And talk to me about the Golden Circle. What is that? How do you qualify?
Yeah, so that's an investor who has $500,000 or more with us over various deals, and there's some other conditions. They have to be, nice, likable, fun to work with. Those are some of our soft conditions, and we extend an offer to join. And then those people get, early access to deals. They get to see deals before the regular investor group does. There's some deals that fund just with the Golden Circle. Oftentimes we'll get a little boutique or really good, interesting deal, maybe only $50,000, and that goes to our Golden Circle investors. And then there's other benefits in terms of intergenerational access. So the ability to do some low dollar amount investments for your kids or grandkids, to just kind of bypass the minimum on a deal just because of the overall relationship. Oh. So that's sort of our core group that we really lean on first and have extra close relationship with.
Wow. Well, Kara, we're learning so much more. I want to continue to have you on. We're going to do another segment because we just want more time freedom. We want more money and more time freedom. You find the secrets for that. You find a better way for clients to invest and reach their financial goals. Kara Golden, founder and CEO of Direct Source Wealth, directsourcewealth.com/hero. You heard her. If you don't do this now, look what happens. You're going to be missing out. 877-756-8323. David Kogan with Eliances.
Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. And by the way, too, thank you to, again, we continue to get feedback from having the founder of TerraCycle on. They could recycle nearly anything, and this company's growing by leaps and bounds. And again, good for the community, allows you to recycle. Well, let's get back to making money. That's right. And having more time freedom, because we have Kara Golden. She is the founder of Direct Source Wealth. You can reach her at directsourcewealth.com/hero. Make sure you call, too. You're welcome to call at 877-756-8323. And, of course, we'll have the information on our website at Eliances.com, Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. And certainly you may be able to meet Dave Grimm, who works with her, too, at one of our many experiences and roundtables. So go to Eliances.com. Now, Kara, when someone goes to your website, directsourcewealth.com/hero, tell us what they're going to find there.
Yeah, so initially they get the opportunity to sign up and get access to deals. There is a cooling off period, so they have to wait, I think it's 30 days before they can actually start to see the deals, just according to guidelines and regulations. But while you're waiting, there's a lot of resources for education, podcasts, links to other people's podcasts that we like and respect, resources in terms of calculators and IRA planning and all that kind of stuff is there and available to help educate. Because while we believe that action is the most important step, we certainly still want to support people's education and making informed decisions.
Tell us about the deals in general, like just what deals there are that may be available.
Yeah. So I always say our bread and butter is multifamily residential real estate. People always are going to need a place to live, no matter what happens in the market. So that's a great place to get started. And people can do that either as a lender secured against real estate, earning a fixed interest rate every month, or as an equity6 distribution and some equity upside. And those deals usually they pay out a 6 to 8% rate, the distribution on the cash flow. And our last one actually in 16 months returned just over 35%. So that there's a lot of opportunity there. And then you can start to kind of sweeten it. I talk about cocktail party investments, things that are more exciting to talk about. Could be a storage unit or an assisted living facility or even a high-tech IT company that is providing Wi-Fi on our properties. So there's a lot of different opportunities beyond the real estate to diversify the portfolio. But I always suggest starting with the bread and butter. Start with something that's simple, easy to understand, and that everyone's going to need, and then build a portfolio from there, kind of supplementing with some higher returns.
Now, with real estate being so hot, are there deals out there?
There's always deals. We are in what I call a cautionary period, right? So when anyone says hot, think hot and caution, right? Like a hot stove. And when we're in periods where people are terrified of real estate, that's when we get really excited and aggressive. So we are still buying, we're still finding deals, and we're proceeding more cautiously. Most importantly, we make sure that we have some creative ways to add income to our properties because we just can't count on the market appreciating the way it did for the last 10 years. So we're always looking for ways that we can add, by being smarter, more nimble, that we can add value.
And again, we're talking with Kara Golden, the CEO and founder of Direct Source Wealth. Go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. Don't wait. Time is precious. directsourcewealth.com/hero or 877-756-8323 because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show, the only place where entrepreneurs align. So go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Now, Kara, you were previously with a big investment house, Edward Jones. Everybody knows that name. Drawing on that and now being the founder of Direct Source Wealth, what are some of the important things of really, truly building wealth. How do we build wealth? What's the magic silver bullet?
Yeah, I think so I'm so fortunate to have had that experience with Edward Jones. I believe they're one of the best firms out there in the traditional asset environment. And they really taught me that for me and for some other investors out there, traditional assets just aren't enough. That's not what we want to be doing. We want to be more intimately connected. We want tangible assets. We want higher returns. And that's really what led me to create Direct Source Wealth. As far as magic bullet, I mean, I think the secret is there is no magic bullet. It's about being steady, tried and true, showing up again and again, not quitting when it gets hard. These are things that our grandmothers taught us, and those values hold true now. Sticking it out, doing the hard work, and not taking failure as an option. And eventually, the success comes along with it.
Now, do you have properties also outside of the U.S.?
Yes. So I've done deals in Europe. I still own a condo in France. It's a vacation rental. And then we have sort of a quasi inside-outside U.S. project. We have a couple projects down in Puerto Rico, which are my favorite to talk about. I love that market because as so many Americans are looking down to Mexico and Belize and overseas to invest, Puerto Rico gives us the best of both worlds. It's U.S. territory, so there's a lot of consistency tax-wise and property-wise and whatnot with what we're used to in the U.S. But it is a U.S. territory, so it also has a little more risk and a little more upside reward. And of course, after a hurricane, which has been a difficult process for our island, there is always a lot of opportunity. And so right now is just a prime time to be looking at Puerto Rico.
Make sure, again, we're talking with Kara Golden, so make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. More time, freedom, building your wealth. And the difference, Kara, help us understand between being an active or passive investor, and what difference does it make?
Have you ever had a really bad headache? I mean, that's essentially the difference. When you're a passive investor, you don't have that. And when you're active, you're handling all the problems. So people like me who enjoy the creativity of problem solving, I love being active on the deal side and sourcing deals and finding deals, and the day after closing, finding out that there's a roof leak that nobody caught, or that something completely changed in the market and you have to rethink your strategy. I enjoy the problem solving. For the people who either don't want to do that anymore or are busy problem solving in a different arena of their skill set, being passive is great. They put their money into a deal, they get a monthly update, they get distributions on a regular basis, and they get returns. The one thing I would say is that even passive investors have to have some sympathy and understanding that there is an active element to the business. And while you get to enjoy a passive return, you are still a partner with your active manager, and your creativity, your input is always welcome, or at least it is with our firm. We love to hear from our passive investors and hear their ideas. It makes us better as the active manager.
And Kara, as far as risk goes, how do you compare, though, investing into the stock market, which is also skyrocketing along with real estate, with the type of investing you do with Direct Source Wealth? And tell us again about the importance of diversification. And we only have a little less than a minute left.
Okay. So to me, real estate is significantly less risky when done right. And what I mean by done right is not too much leverage. As long as you don't have too much leverage, real estate is a tangible asset. It's physical. People need it. And I find that to have a lot less risk than the stock market. It also allows you to have a lot more control. When you own a tiny, tiny piece of a huge company, there's just not much you could do except for sit along for the ride. But in our direct deals, our investors get to have an opinion and drive the leadership and work with us to make sure that we're always generating some returns and responding to changes in the market. That, to me, feels safer.
Well, Kara, truly incredible, and you work hard to support your clients' goals. Direct Source Wealth creates the cash flow and growth that we're looking for. Kara Golden, CEO and founder. Make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. You can't wait anymore. Time is just too precious. You heard from her direct. 877-756-8323. David Kogan with Eliances.
You have been listening to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups. To present your superpower, visit www.eliances.com.